Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whenever and wherever you may be listening to us. You have your ears locked into the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Edward Keene. I am your host for these festivities. And joining me, as always, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion, and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? Let's get this show started.
And also joining us, he is my arch nemesis, my tag team partner, and my very best friend. You can hear him from all around the internet, but you can only find his wrestling podcast right here. He is the real Danny D, Dan Dorett.
Please hold all of the applause till the end. Please, guys. Thank you. Guys, I said hold the applause to the end. I know you are happy that I'm back and safe, but please hold your applause till the end. Jaime, come on, man.
Okay, all right. Now that these two are done screwing up the entrance to the show, before we get to WrestleMania and everything that's happened since then, we have a little bit of a house cleaning to do. First and foremost, we must extend an arm of congratulations as our own Jaime has now been named the official wrestling editor for Vavel USA. Jaime, make a speech. And you're done.
Without you guys.
You're done. Anyway, also, speaking of Vavel, we will be cross-posting this show, not only to our home for the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast, the one that's been home to us since the very first episode, RealSport101.com. We will also be featured on Vavel USA. So if you're on Real Sport, you can find us over there as well. If you're looking for us on SoundCloud, you obviously won't be able to hear this because we are no longer there. We have moved platforms. We will be on Podbean, hopefully getting ourselves onto iTunes. With all that out of the way, guys, this is our WrestleMania recap show. 7 hours of wrestling. Dan went to 8 wrestling shows in 5 days. Is that about right, Dan?
Yes, that is correct. Unless you want to count 205 Live as a separate show, then we can say 9.
No, it was all in the same building at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Then it counts as 1. All right, let's begin. Let's start. Let's just do WrestleMania because nobody cares about the indie stuff anyway. Let's start on the pre-show. We now have...
No. We have to mention one thing, at least one thing from the indie show. 2 things.
It's coming at the end when we do our indie recap. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Daniel. He is still suffering from jet lag on a 2.5-hour flight and apparently didn't feel the need to do his homework and read the script I spent hours preparing. So I apologize for Dan being unprepared.
Let's be honest with the audience. I'm suffering from alcohol withdrawal.
That could be a thing too. We'll get to the indie stuff later. Now, let's once again start with the Cruiserweight Championship match. Cedric Alexander defeated Mustafa Ali. I didn't watch this match. I was driving, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't have watched this match if I was at home. Dan, tell me about it.
You should watch that match. That's probably the second best match of the night as far as just in-ring performance, behind Asuka and Charlotte, in my opinion. I really feel like you should go back and watch that match.
Fair enough. Jaime, you're our 205 Live resident guru. Right guy won. Is this something good going forward?
Yes, it's good going forward. The right guy won. He actually should have won the Cruiserweight Classic. He actually should have won it against Enzo Amore before Enzo Amore did that stuff. And now, finally, he's a champion and he deserves it.
Fair enough. Anybody got anything they want to add before we move on to a match that was hardly ever publicized? No?
Yeah, just go back and watch it.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the no-name Battle Royal that the WWE stripped the name off of, and it was just, I guess, a rematch of the Royal Rumble. This time, Naomi won it. Jaime, good or bad?
Anyone could have won it. It was a good plot twist in the end where Bayley thought she betrayed Sasha and eventually won. Then it ended up that Naomi wasn't officially eliminated. It was a good plot twist in a match that anyone could have won. So it's a good choice. I like Naomi.
Dan, agree?
I thought the ending was good. I thought the NXT spot in the middle with all the NXT girls was really good as well. That was also because Peyton Royce and Dakota Kai were in that spot. But that's I digress.
Well, we'll talk more about, a few of those women here later on. How about Andre the Giant? Another match I didn't see. I saw highlights at the end where Bray Wyatt came back and now he's a lackey for Matt Hardy. Are we calling him Woken Bray Wyatt or what?
I don't know. They haven't gave that to us. I think it's probably going to be something along those lines. But that was a meh for me too.
Is it?
I'm glad that Matt won, but it seems like he's going straight into a tag title run instead of a singles run.
Well, now, Jaime, I want to ask you this. Is Bray Wyatt taking the spot that was intended for Jeff Hardy?
That's how I see it, because as it looks, Jeff Hardy's going to chase for single titles again. So that's how I see it.
So being the nerd I am, I did a little bit of digging, and Jeff Hardy specifically said, as far as the Brother Nero character, you can expect him to come and go, sort of as I become woken.
So what does that even mean, though? Like,
maybe a faction's coming with the three of them.
As long as Matt's kids stay off of television, we'll be fine. Let's just move on, because that whole character just bothers the crap out of me. And everybody's so over, oh, Matt Hardy, he's so good. I hate it so much. It seems like it's so much bad Impact stuff that is made it to the WWE, and it just bothers the hell out of me. Anyway, let's go to the main card, because we got some bad Impact stuff coming up here shortly. Intercontinental title match. Right guy won?
Yeah, of course. That's the loudest burn it down you've ever heard on Monday Night Raw.
Jaime, did the right guy win?
Well, I predicted The Miz, but if not The Miz, why not Seth Rollins? There are a lot of guys coming back, and with the shake-up coming, it's an interesting twist, and it gives Miz more time with Monroe Sky Mizanin.
Well, there you go. Okay, so is that a yes or a no, or are you just doing your patented Jaime middle of the ground thing?
It's yes.
Okay.
It's a yes.
All right, yeah, I was going to disagree with you guys, but yeah, I thought the right guy won. Where does this leave Finn and The Miz? Does the Superstar shakeup affect them at all? I know Miz is probably going to get some time off to be with his little girl, but where does this leave Finn?
I have a strong feeling that Finn's going to enter the picture with AJ and Nakamura.
Fair enough. Daniel?
I think you can expect The Miz to end up on SmackDown so we can get that Miz Daniel Bryan feud.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. All right. So who's the next one that's going to be taking up Seth? Dan?
Maybe No Way Jose?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Jaime, you need to keep your day job. Now that you actually have a day job, who do you think? Who do you think?
Possibly, I'm not sure about the time frame of his injury, but I would like a returning Jason Jordan to feud with Seth.
I'm gonna throw two names out there, and I want to hear what you guys think. Samoa Joe or Big Cass.
I'd be okay with Cass. I think they have Joe slated for a feud with Roman.
No, Joe's going to feud with an MMA guy not named Brock Lesnar.
Bobby Lashley?
Nope. Yep. You're wrong, man. Bobby Lashley's going to be the one to take the belt off of Brock.
Oh God, that's terrible.
That fast?
Let's move on. Let's move on. United States Championship match. Wrong kid won that title, didn't he?
I don't even want to talk about this match, so all I'm going to say is let me know when we're on to the next one.
How about you, Jaime?
Very, very disappointed. I thought it's going to be the dawn of Rusev Day. Even Corey Graves turned on Rusev Day on commentary last episode of SmackDown Live.
Well, from what I've heard, and these are, the famous unconfirmed rumors, apparently he asked for his release before Mania, and he should be out of the company by the end of the year. So maybe that's why he didn't get the title run. But like I said, that's Twitter speculation, and we know how good Twitter can be to not sell our information elsewhere, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's move on, since Dan doesn't want to talk.
Thank you.
The Bludgeon Brothers dismantled the New Day and the Usos. How long until they lose the title? Jaime?
I'm not really sure now that the Authors of Pain debuted on Raw instead of SmackDown. Remember when we were making the predictions, I'd say Bludgeon Brothers to feud with the Authors of Pain
Sure.
in the future? I'm just not sure, but with the upcoming shakeup, if the Authors of Pain go to SmackDown Live, then it's them.
Okay. Daniel?
SummerSlam?
Who takes it from him?
Unknown.
Way to have a nice, strong opinion there, Dan. That
I don't know,
that was
man.
a cop-out of cop-out. We come on this show to make predictions, to talk about what we want to happen. So give me a team. Make up a team. Give me something. Not, I don't know.
So the team that's going to take the belt off of the Bludgeon Brothers is the Lumber Brothers. They're going to put together Braun Strowman, because he's going to go to SmackDown, and they're going to get Lars Sullivan, and their gimmick's going to be them in the woods chopping wood, kind of how the Bludgeon Brothers were in the woods, like just being creepy.
But they don't use axes; they just use their hands.
Like
they're just gonna use their hands. They're just gonna you're just gonna see them like chopping down trees with their hands, like yeah.
Okay.
Like that's a
fun. I'm okay with that.
Of course you are. That's why I said it.
Since you brought up Braun Strowman, he is the tag team champion with a referee's kid.
He was.
Was he wasted on at WrestleMania?
No. He was on the Raw brand. He was not wasted. If they weren't going to do Brock and Braun, I thought that was a really good way for them to use him. Because if you throw him in that ice,
okay, Dan.
he has to win the title in Raw.
Okay. All right. Fun. Jaime? Yes or no?
It's a waste of space. Like, it could have been a classic between the Bar and the Revival, or maybe a silly feud that we would all like between the Bar and the Club. But that's not what happened. I actually expected Lars Sullivan to get called up and tag with Strowman, but it didn't happen. So, waste of space. Could have been another team that challenged for the title.
Well, I tell you what. As Braun was going through the crowd, you can clearly see No Way Jose and that big fro he has in the crowd. I thought this would have been a good place maybe for John Cena to have been there if, the Undertaker thing wasn't going to happen. And I honestly thought that's what was going to happen until Cena got just absolutely just destroyed. So, but I thought it was a waste. I mean, good on the kid, and I'm glad it was a good moment and everything, but no, that they could have done better.
The division's lucky that he had scheduling restraints with school, or else they were going to get these hands.
I'm saying it was a terrible idea, and that's saying a lot given how WrestleMania ended. So let's move on. Let's talk about the mixed tag team match. Rousey and Old Man Angle against Stephanie and Old Man Hunter. The girls were more impressive than the guys, right? Dan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This was my favorite match. This was my favorite match of the night.
Jaime, how did you feel about it?
I was actually impressed with Ronda Rousey. Like, wasn't Shayna Baszler training for a longer time? But why does it seem like Rousey wrestles better than Shayna?
Honestly, it seems to me that it's a comfort factor. Like you look at Shayna Baszler, and she doesn't seem all that comfortable in the ring, and you look at Ronda Rousey, and it suits her. You know, it fits her personality. It fits who she is. I don't know if it does that for Shayna Baszler, but that could just be my gut feeling about it. Dan, you said this was your favorite match. Why?
Yes, we weren't expecting it. Being live in the crowd, this is probably the match I was most into behind the IC title match.
What do you mean you weren't expecting it?
I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I wasn't expecting Ronda to be able to go the way she did. Stephanie played a great heel. The Triple H Ronda spots were amazing. Just both of them made that work so well. Triple H sold it. You know, that just the whole. It was such above and far for a mixed tag match. I'll be honest. I'd probably give that like 4.25.
Interesting. Okay. I thought Stephanie was the most impressive out of all of them. You know, for somebody who hasn't really been a big in-ring competitor for the last, let's say, decade and a half, she played the heel just, it was perfect. You know, running around and, you know, bumping the referee and getting Rousey off the ring and then, like, sitting there and hiding and being skittish and all that stuff. And she actually had a few wrestling moves, like, and she blocked that arm bar, what, 2-3 different times?
Yeah, that was good in-ring storytelling. How I was actually surprised she blocked those submission attempts.
See,
For
I'm
somebody
not.
who doesn't really train MMA to be able to do that.
Oh, but if you watch the video package before the match, that's all she's been doing is training and getting stronger. And this is her ring and her house, and the WWE is totally different. Stephanie knew what she was doing. Watch the video packages.
Yeah.
Say what you were gonna say, Dan. And apparently Dan's speechless. Mark this day on your calendar, folks. That's the first time that's ever happened. All right. Let's move on. Was Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles the match of the card, Jaime?
For me, it's not really because the ending was good, the plot twist was good, but the match itself, other matches on the card outshone that match. So it was pretty disappointing.
You say other matches on the card outshone it. Be more specific.
The mixed tag match we just talked about, and in my personal opinion, I believe that the cruiserweight title match was better than it.
Okay. Maybe I need to watch this Cruiserweight title match. Dan, what do you think? Oh, Dan's still not there. Okay. Dan doesn't have an opinion on AJ and Nakamura. I guess that's what's going on there.
I don't have an opinion on that match. It was terrible.
Was it worse than Lesnar and I wrote Rollins here because I was just that tired. Roman Reigns.
No, it wasn't. But the issue with the Nakamura and AJ match is it was very slow. It was way too slow. They never picked up the pace.
I thought that too. Sense. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Everybody was hyping this as a dream match, and I think everybody was expecting it to be, you know, their match from, a decade ago in New Japan, and it was a match that we would have expected to see in the WWE as far as
pacing. It didn't even have to be that type of match. But where was the spot? Where was the go? Where did they go?
The ending, maybe?
No, the ending was bad. I didn't like the way that ended. It never built.
I mean,
it was like a book that you read
after what happened after the match, though, Daniel.
Yeah, but I mean, no. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I mean, maybe they wanted the turn to be more talked about than the actual match itself. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like that, where they've sent two guys out there to put on a bad match just to have the turn at the end look so good. All right, let's talk about. Oh, hey, before we get to the way that stuff ended, we got to talk about the women's divisions. Nia Jax, the new Raw Women's Champion, was that the feel-good moment of Raw, Jaime? The feel-good moment of WrestleMania?
Yes, in a way, because Alexa Bliss was such a bully, and the storyline betrayal, you could just, although you know that kayfabe's dead and they're still hanging out in real life, but the build-up to that match and the emotional content that that storyline have, I'm pretty invested. So yes, it's a feel-good moment.
Daniel, you were there. How did it come off to the crowd?
The crowd was extremely happy. Extremely happy.
Were they extremely happy because a lot of them spent most of the day on Bourbon Street getting hit up with various illicit substances and, ladies at the evening?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a genuine happy feeling in there for her because she came so close and she really has turned it around as a competitor. I mean, if you go back and listen to some of our old shows, all I did was bury Naya, and I can't do that anymore. She just genuinely became a better in-ring performer, and I just feel like she deserves it.
Fair enough. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about maybe the most surprising ending to a match, the most surprising winner, I think, obviously, maybe outside of Jinder winning the U.S. title, and that's Charlotte beat Asuka. How many stars do you give that match, Jaime?
I'll give it a 3.5 or 4 because I wasn't really happy with the ending, but the match itself, the beginning, the middle was fine.
Okay.
It was a competitive match, so yeah.
Dan, look like you disagree. You got the wing.
That match is a 4.5 to 4.75.
Really?
Yeah. Best match of the night.
Really?
Most competitive. Best spot. The best spot of Mania. The best spot. That Spanish Fly.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
best spot of Mania.
It seemed like they went so well together and they fit together. Like, it was a genuine, decent, there was chemistry there, and I like that. But I don't think the right person won. I don't think the streak should have ended. I mean, I'm glad the streak is over, but it's like Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker. The streak needed to end. It just didn't need to end that way at that time.
Well, guess what New Orleans is?
Oh, it's a streak killer town. Yeah.
I think that's what they might have been going for.
So, just, if you have a streak, never go to New Orleans. So,
basically never go to New Orleans with a streak during Mania.
So what you're saying is...
I have a feeling they're going to be back there again in 4 years.
I would say Aleister Black at WrestleMania 38 shouldn't ever... I mean, he shouldn't compete.
The curse on Bourbon Street.
Oh, Jaime. There you go. I love
it. That city does it like no other, man. Like, plastered all over the town everywhere.
We know you were. We saw your Instagram. Anyway, let's talk about the 725-pound elephant in the room. Or, the walrus, if you will, because the walrus was there. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Dan?
So, I am of a different opinion than most with this match. I'm holding judgment till I watch it without sound. From what I've seen from the stand, it looked like an extremely physical match, which could make for good wrestling. Being there live and having beach balls all around you, this is awful chance. It's the last match of the night. No one wanted to see it.
At some point, were they chanting Michael Cole? I thought I heard a Michael Cole chant somewhere.
There was not a Michael Cole chant. There was a F this S chant.
Classy.
The best chants came on Monday and Tuesday, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that. So, how was it? How was it in the crowd? Did it come off as just terrible?
Yeah, it did. It came off as terrible, but as I was watching it, I was like, man, this looks really physical. It looks like these guys are stiffing each other, which can make for a really good wrestling, like pure wrestling. Storytelling, they did not tell a story.
Well,
this is what I'm going to ask you. How many, you heard commentary. There were people that couldn't answer this because there were that many people not paying attention to it. You know how many F5s he kicked out of?
8, I want to say. 7 or 8?
5 F5s.
Oh, but he took 8, right?
I think he took 6 or 7.
Anyway, it was, And it's a good thing that we're all three together because Dan was there live, Jaime watched it live, and I watched it on a delay after I heard some of the comments about it. And I mean, WrestleMania got spoiled for me, like it always does, because I couldn't watch it that night thanks to the flu. And then I made the mistake of opening up Facebook, and I have a bunch of friends that are assholes, present company excluded. So we went from there. But Jaime, you watched it live. You knew what the expectations were. We kind of knew what you expected of it. Were you as disappointed as the entire world?
I was disappointed that Roman did not win the belt, but no, I expected that. That's a match. Roman, despite his limitations, wanted things to work. That's why he's able to put on good matches. Brock, despite him being a good in-ring performer, technically, he just doesn't want to make it work.
Well, now take this for what you will. It came out on Twitter, I believe, yesterday. Am I right there? That the match actually got changed mid-match as far as who was going to win because of such a poor crowd reaction. That's why this rematch is going to happen in, what is it, Jeddah? Is that what it's called? Jedi? Something like that?
Saudi Arabia.
Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to happen there, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on because that card was announced on, Monday or Tuesday, and we've already had 2 changes to it. So, one last question before we close the door on Mania. Jaime, overall impression, where does WrestleMania 34 rank?
Certainly not the best, not even in the middle. Lower half of the ranking, maybe.
Dan, you've been to, what, the last 2 or 3 now?
2.
Okay.
This Mania by far was better than last year's.
I'll give you that, but last year's, I mean, didn't we have the cash in last year?
No.
Seth Rollins didn't
No.
cash in last year?
No.
Oh, no, because
Years ago.
Braun's been a champion for like 200 years. Okay.
No. So for me, it ranks probably in the top half of Mania. I don't think it was. I don't think it was as bad as being made out to be.
I would honestly probably put it right there at the 50% thing. There was a lot of good from Mania. I mean, you know, the Intercontinental match, that was good. You know, Charlotte and Asuka was good. The Nia moment was good. And there was a lot of bad. And I mean, you know, the fact that Triple H and Kurt Angle are pushing 50 and are still in the main event of a WrestleMania, that's a problem. Or one of the main events of Mania. That's a big problem. The fact that they have all this talent on Raw and they couldn't find Braun a partner other than the referee's kid, that's a problem. You know,
See, that went over so well with the crowd.
it didn't go over with anybody else though. Like, I mean, yeah, when he was walking through the crowd and everybody was doing what they were doing, yeah, it's gonna go over because you have a larger than life being in the crowd with the people. But we didn't even get to the Undertaker and John Cena stuff. Like, they buried Elias, and for the sake of burial, brought back the Undertaker, who should have gone away the last time they were in New Orleans. But like, why? To give John Cena something to do? I mean, how great would it have been for Braun Strowman to be sitting, you know, going around the crowd, not you, not you, not you, and just like starts walking around, I can't find anybody, and then rests his hand on the shoulder of a fan who looks up, oh, it's John Cena, and now John Cena and Braun Strowman are there together. It would have been much better than watching him get buried by the Undertaker. Because what good?
An awesome 80.
What good did that do, Dan? What good did that do? Who did that help?
Dude, the thing is it didn't matter. Like, it did not matter live. I thought it was terrible, but people were so happy to just see Taker.
But
you know what my opinion there was? Like, who I was expecting to show up wasn't Elias, wasn't Undertaker.
Kane?
You know who?
Kane?
No. Rumor has it that Rey Mysterio was in the area, so I was expecting when Cena called out Taker for a last chance, it was Mysterio who was gonna show up.
I mean, the issue with that is Mysterio's injured.
Well, I mean,
Again?
He hasn't fully healed.
but I mean, could he have been Braun's partner then to just stand there? Are you kidding me?
No.
No, if you're gonna do that, you can't. You can't have Mysterio just stand there. That would have gone over so bad with the crowd.
How injured is he? Like, what is injured on him? Is it a knee?
I want to say it's a torn bicep.
So he could still like do something off the top rope.
I mean, I don't know. Apparently,
Cena put on a classic with Daniel Bryan.
Apparently, he cannot perform in ring. Whatever the injury is, he can't. Maybe it's a torn pec. I don't know. It's something torn on the upper body.
They could have brought a legend in. Billy Gunn hasn't been a tag team champion with Braun Strowman. He's been a tag team champion with everybody else. Let Billy Gunn be the guy to tag with Braun.
Why not bring back Big Show?
Oh my God, fucking perfect. But that's why we don't work for the WWE. All right, let's move on to the Night After Raw. And the Night After Raw is mainly known for people getting called up. And we're going to go for the Raw and SmackDown, and really, well, just for Raw and SmackDown. We're going to do 3 big things that I took away that we're going to talk about. No Way, Jose, and AOP are now on the Raw roster. Is this a good deal?
No, I thought AOP was on SmackDown.
Yeah. Same as
I don't have any feelings on No Way Jose because I feel like he's going to be a Dillinger or Breeze.
Or Adam Rose. He brought in some rosebuds from Bourbon Street.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Okay.
I thought that was terrible.
Let me ask you this. No Way Jose, obviously of Latin descent, right? The WWE has been sorely lacking a Latino face, somebody that they can go down to Mexico and highly promote. Who's going to get there first? No Way Jose, Andrade Cien Almas, or somebody else? Jaime?
Somebody else.
Jaime?
It's gonna be Almas, depending on how he acts, because apparently Vince is a fan of Latino wrestlers who are talented but such pricks backstage. You had Carlito, you had ADR, Alberto Del Rio.
El Patron.
I hope Andrade Cien Almas acts accordingly, so he would be that Latino top star we're looking for.
Okay, we have to apologize for Jaime. The actual name he was looking for was Alberto El Patron, not Del Rio. So, just wanted to let everybody know the guy's name is El Patron, not Del Rio. All right, next big thing to take away. Samoa Joe, he's back. Anybody excited for this?
No.
Who does he feud with?
Who cares? He's going to get injured again.
Why you gotta be a downer, Dan? Jaime, who does he feud with?
I mentioned this earlier in the show, it's gonna be Bobby Lashley. Because apparently Brock and Roman aren't done yet. So you need to give Lashley something to do if you would want to give him a good push. Joe's a very relevant character. If you want to give Lashley that same relevance on the WWE stage, Joe's the guy.
But is he that relevant, though? I mean, he hasn't done anything in since he's been in the WWE. But I'm going to throw out a name because you both are wrong. And that name is John Cena. They put Yeah, shut up, Dan. They put the seeds for this when they ran those video packages of them two. They broke in together and they worked out together and they were trained together and all that stuff. Boy, wouldn't it be good if John Cena showed up on Raw and was cutting a promo about how he has to fight his way back from The Undertaker. And then Joe comes out. I've known you for, 25 years and you ain't fought your way out of a paper bag and I'll kill you and I'll kill you. And maybe we get to see a hardcore Cena. And I think that's the logical way to go. Plus, they can always put it on ice when Joe gets injured and Cena goes to make a movie. They could slow burn this all the way to the next WrestleMania. All right. One more for Raw. What is next for Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon? Jaime?
Not really sure because there wasn't. But Rousey's not done with Steph, so Steph would want her revenge eventually. Oh, Angle's gonna defend Rousey as he always did. So that's what's next. A continued rivalry.
Okay. Daniel, you want to chip in on this?
Kurt drifts away soon.
Well, we saw at least one general manager get replaced. Is Kurt the next one?
I don't know if
I
Kurt
mean,
can go. I don't know
obviously
if they'll
he's the
let
next
Kurt
one.
wrestle full time.
Maybe retirement?
Maybe. I don't know. He did have his last WrestleMania. He did have another WrestleMania match, so I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it happens anytime soon, though.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go on to SmackDown. And Dan, I have a specific question for you. I'm not going to hear from Jaime on this. This one's specifically for you. Now that the iconic duo is on the blue brand and looking as tasty as ever, are you still in love?
I'll play the fifth.
Oh, because your girlfriend's listening. That's right. I apologize. That's an unfair question, but we all know the answer. We can see it in your eyes and in your ponytail. All right. Let's move on because that wasn't the actual question. Jaime, we have a new SmackDown general manager, and it's Paige. Is that a good move?
It really looked like a last minute thing, but I think it's a good move given how Paige is good as a heel and how she'll eventually transform into a heel general manager. That's just good for business.
Dan, do you agree?
Yes, I was so happy to see her come out on SmackDown. I got a little, caught up when she made a retirement speech on Monday. But I think it's awesome that they're keeping her around, especially after the tough time she went through over the course of the past year with getting injured, the sex tapes, all that. So
Is it possible that the only reason she's the SmackDown general manager is because of the movie that's coming out? That's all based
that
on
is a
her life?
possibility as well. Yes, that thought did not cross my mind. But either way, I am, she's 24, man. This is probably really weighing on her. So,
Well, yeah, anytime you live your dream and it gets taken from you, and I was 24 when my dream got taken from me, and I know exactly how she feels when I got retired from the Marine Corps, and it sucks, but I mean, obviously, it's a completely different scale with her being a professional wrestler and me being a Marine, but still, it's not a good feeling, and I can sympathize with her on that. I think she should have stayed in the role she was in and not become an authority figure. But that's literally just me. Let's stay in the women's division. We finally got a cash in. Nobody had held the Money in the Bank briefcase longer than Carmella, and now she doesn't have it anymore. Dan, how happy were you to hear "fabulous" spelled out?
it was awesome, man. I don't think there was one person in that arena that was not happy that she cashed it.
Did
And
they
you know how over Charlotte is.
did they wait too long though? Like it seemed like that beatdown
No,
from the iconic
I think it
duo
was perfect.
lasted forever, and then when Carmella came down, like Mike Chioda seemed like he had never known what the Money in the Bank briefcase was and had no
Okay,
idea what was going on.
Okay, so yeah, when you're talking about it from that point, I thought the Kyoto thing was dumb. But no, man, I feel like that was perfect. They protected Asuka by having Charlotte beat her. And then they protected Charlotte by having the iconic duo just beat the living shit out of her.
Right.
So,
but
I think that's the only way you can do it, because Carmella still looks weak, so she still has to win dirty.
Jaime, you're shaking your head. You agree?
Yeah, it's actually Dan's made a good point, and come to think of it, for the past how many weeks that Carmella attempted to cash in her briefcase on SmackDown, the crowd went nuts. So this was the right moment for it. Charlotte not being able to defend herself, unlike the past few weeks.
Okay, you know what? I can agree with you on all of that. But the whole rule about how the champion has to be on their feet Since when? When Edge cashed it in the very first time, I'm pretty sure he cashed it in on Cena, right?
Yeah, Cena on his back after
I'm
the
pretty sure
elimination
Cena was
chamber match.
Yeah, Cena was unconscious. Or no, he got up, but he was all bloody. Like,
Yeah.
it's a dumb rule. If you're gonna cash that in right there, wait till the guy. I mean, it's like I'm at a loss for words because it's that stupid. So let's move on.
And I think Charlotte sold it the best that she possibly could as well.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just calling
absolutely.
it on there.
The
Yeah.
execution was great, except for Mike Chioda, and that's to say something since Chioda has been a referee for it seems like forever, and he's the longest tenured WWE referee, maybe outside of Charles Robinson, depending on if you count WCW time. And the guy's been doing it forever, so it seemed weird for me. But let's move on. Let's talk about the main event from SmackDown. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles in another one of those dream matches that nobody thought they'd ever see in the WWE, and we got it. Before the ending, was anybody disappointed in that match? Because I was.
The match was ruined for me before it even started.
How? Explain.
So I was sitting basically okay. So first of all, SmackDown was nowhere near sold out. I don't know how they said it was on TV if they even mentioned it, but it was nowhere near sold out. And so I ended up moving down to like the first row before you got to the floor. Thanks for the free upgrade, Smoothie King Center. But when I did that, the security was not letting people walk where Nakamura was running from. So I knew there was a run in the whole time.
Well, you smark. I mean, nobody else would have known that, and it definitely wasn't visible on television, so.
Well, no, it's not going to be visible on television because he legit ran through the crowd. Like, he ran right in front of me. I tried to snap a picture of it, but I was watching the match. I was just a little disappointed that they couldn't have set that up a little better. That's all.
How are they going to set it up? Was he supposed to rappel from the ceiling? They don't do that anymore for a very specific and painful reason.
I mean, why don't you have both guys down? Like, why didn't you have them running from the? I don't know. I don't like crowd run-ins. Now that I know how they're done, I would have rather he came from like
under the ring. Do they still do that anymore?
That works too.
Like, do they still put the guy underneath the ring before the match starts?
I'm assuming that's how Hardy and Wyatt got there on Monday. And that was where Wyatt came up from Sunday, under the ring.
But how did he get there? Like, is there a trap door? Is he, like, disguised as a cameraman who just, when everybody's distracted, just kind of inches underneath? Like, how does that happen?
They go dark a lot.
Oh, so when the lights go out, he just runs down and crawls under the ring?
That's what I'm assuming. I mean, don't hold me to that, but that's what would make the most sense to me.
Okay. Jaime, were you impressed with the AJ Daniel Bryan match before the run-in?
Well, I can say that Daniel Bryan can still pull up his moves, but it's obvious that there's still some ring rust there.
I mean, I looked at that match and I wasn't impressed. Heel.
Well, maybe because of the ring rust.
Maybe. We have a heel Shinsuke Nakamura. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
You're staring into the light. Are you okay with it?
Oh, there's a thunderstorm going on and my power's flickering, so I don't know how much longer this conversation's going to last, so let's just keep going. Jaime, you're okay with a heel Nakamura. Daniel, are you?
Yeah, because there's going to be more mind games still.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I loved it, man. Sorry, no speak English.
Yeah, is it me or did his English improve? Like from being a good guy to a bad guy? It seemed like he spoke a hell of a lot clearer on SmackDown when he was talking. I mean, granted, it was still very slow, but it seemed like it was just leaps and bounds clearer.
It was awesome. That's all I know.
The
crowd loved it.
I mean, I'm not a fan of his to begin with, and I know I'm in the minority for several reasons, but I wasn't a fan. I'm starting to get a fan now. I'm starting to enjoy it. But let's go back. Before WrestleMania, and let's talk about NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Did we see the best match of the weekend on this show? Jaime, while Dan thinks about it, did we see the best one?
There are lots of choices, but it definitely watching NXT Takeover definitely outshines any Big Four event for the sole reason that the expectations suddenly become high because of how these talents perform at Takeover. So probably.
That's the typical Jaime answer. Not a yes, not a no, but maybe. Daniel, did we see the best match of the weekend on TakeOver?
Yes.
Which one was it?
The North American Championship match.
Ooh, gonna have to disagree with you. Jaime, what was the best match from TakeOver?
It's a toss-up between... No,
No,
I'll just pick one.
stop.
Yeah,
No.
I'll just pick one.
No, you gotta pick one. No more of this on both sides of the fence stuff. You gotta pick one.
Gargano versus Ciampa.
That was the one I was gonna pick too. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with Jaime on this one, Daniel. That was just, we had a year to think about it, and it was beautiful. And, I mean, just everything about it was perfect. It was so good.
You could talk me into it. You could talk me into saying that.
I mean, just the guys in it, and the fact that it was a non-sanctioned match, and I think we saw just enough of William Regal to set that up. You know, that's one thing we need to talk about before we actually talk about NXT, and that's William Regal. Like, when he was the general manager of Raw, was a prick. Like, he was a bad dude for being a bad dude, and he was bad at being a bad dude. But now that he's gone to NXT, he has played the general manager the perfect way the general manager is supposed to be played. Am I wrong in thinking that? Like, he's the best general manager in sports entertainment.
Do you want to know why he's the best general manager in sports entertainment?
Because he's been a general manager for...
In and out of kayfabe, yes.
I would say he's been a general manager for 25 years.
Because he's a man. A manly man.
Oh, Steven Regal, we have missed you so. All right, let's get back to NXT. We all loved Gargano and Ciampa. Adam Cole pulled double duty. He is now the North American champion. I was impressed with him. Baby. I'm just going to start adding that after words, like in general conversation. Just like, how you doing today? Baby! Just to see what I can do.
Well, you shouldn't add it after that one, because it sounds like you're calling him baby.
Well, a lot of the stuff like when I talk to people at work, it's, can I see your ID? So I can't really add it there. Because, you know, you ask a bunch of pipeliners, hey, can I see your ID? Baby! I'm going to get punched in the face a lot. So there's not a lot I can do there.
Please do that and have someone record it.
No, although the cameras are on location. So anyway, we're getting sidetracked here. I was impressed with Adam Cole. I've been an Adam Cole fan. He was one of the few guys I followed in Ring of Honor. Jaime, were you impressed with Adam Cole?
Was always. You know, I'm not a big fan of the indies, but if I have enough care for an indie guy, then they're doing good.
Okay. Daniel, praise Adam Cole.
He's one of the best workers out there. He's amazing. He's great. His character is extremely strong. I hope we get him on the main roster without winning the NXT title.
Okay, fair enough. He's the new North American champion. He was the right guy to win that match, right?
No.
Who should have won it?
Green.
We're going to talk a little bit about the Velveteen Dream here in a second. Jaime, who was the right guy to win that match?
I think Cole's the right guy to win that match because Undisputed Era is taking over now that they have a new member on their team.
Oh, we're going to get to that in just 2 seconds, but let me burn you both. You both are wrong because I have the right opinion. And my opinion is one that's not shared by many, but because it's so right, it's going to be in the top 10%. No, top 5%. No, top 1%. EC3.
Three. What's that stand for?
We don't know. We have
The formula in which he wins by.
We have no idea what that means. We have no idea what that means because we have to pretend that everything that happened in Nashville and Orlando never happened.
Do we have to actually after Angle telling Zayn and Owens that TNA's hiring?
What? What?
Oh my God! Did you not see that segment on
Yeah.
Raw?
Buddy, I was still kicking the flu.
So Zayn and Owens had a match on Raw. I'm assuming you knew that.
No, like I said, I'm
yeah,
still
They had a
overcoming the
match
flu.
on Raw. The winner got a contract for Raw. It was a draw, double count out.
Uh-huh.
But it was the segment before that when they approached Angle. They were lobbying for a job.
And he was like, "You guys just got fired for beating up your general manager. I hear TNA's hiring."
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wonder if he got in trouble. Well, TNA doesn't exist anymore. But that makes so much sense now. Oh, wow, mind blown. Anyway, wow. Okay, let's talk about Roderick Strong. After spurning the Undisputed Era for God knows how long, he now decided to screw over his partner, and now he's a member of the Undisputed Era. Good move, Jaime?
Good move.
Daniel?
Ring of Honor invasion coming right up.
Okay, fair enough. You guys know I am just all about the invasions. So Daniel, do you agree or no?
It makes sense since they put the North American title on Cole.
Okay,
Sure.
but I mean, this would be like Finn Balor winning the Intercontinental Championship. It's not really the one you want the main guy of your faction to have, but I mean, I think it's still a great idea. Plus, he meshes so well with those other three too. So, I promised we'd talk about the Velveteen Dream, and we're going to talk about the Velveteen Dream because in the process of writing my much maligned and very late book, We Were Spoiled, I'm covering probably the best NXT takeover maybe of all time, and that was NXT TakeOver Houston, the one that happened the day before Survivor Series of this year. And if you guys recall, Aleister Black took on the Velveteen Dream because the Dream just wanted Black to say his name, to be recognized, to be acknowledged. Easily a top 5 match of 2017, perhaps even one of the best matches, not just in NXT, but in the WWE. And watching the way he performed in that ladder match, to what he did against Black, to when he first broke into NXT, the dude has to be one of the most improved wrestlers the WWE has. Like, from his character, to his skill set, to his timing, to even some of his mic work. He's a fantastic talent. Y'all agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's absolutely. Dan has trained with him, if I'm not mistaken. But for me, who hasn't seen him perform, he's such a revelation for a guy so young. Like, he used to tag with Leo Rush in the Indies, but Leo Rush was the bigger star. But for a certain reason, there's a reason why Velveteen Dream's a bigger star right now in NXT than Leo Rush.
Leo got a huge push at Access.
Well, I mean, that could be because, the Velveteen Dream's Twitter is not as controversial to the WWE as what Leo Rush is, but that's beside the point. But his match with Aleister Black, who is the new NXT champion, how did you guys feel about that? Like, I know we're going back to November, and we probably already covered it in November, but Dan, you're one of the guys that gets really big into how this stuff fits together. How did you feel about that match itself?
I thought that was easily NXT's match of the year.
Was it the best match of Black's career in the WWE?
Yeah, I think so.
Jaime, how do you feel about it? And I'm only asking this because I watched it like 4 times today because it was that damn good. Jaime, how do you feel about it?
I was actually surprised because Black's the type of guy that I think if he's going to lose, he's going to lose dirty. But with all the dirty tactics that Zelina Vega pulled, and he still overcome it, I was surprised. And the match itself was awesome. Not as awesome as the main event, but it was the second best match of the weekend for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm good. Everybody else good with NXT?
Yeah.
I'm always good with NXT.
All right. Let's talk about. I'm just going to ask this question. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Why are we having the greatest Royal Rumble ever? Why is it in Saudi Arabia? Why does it seem like a bunch of rematches from WrestleMania? Why is it only going to air at noon on Friday?
I don't know,
only on the network. Why?
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, but I'm going to be at work. I can't watch it. Why
I'll be
is?
at work too.
But you're a boss, Dan. I'm a low-level grunt worker. But you're missing the point. Why is this happening? Explain this to me, Jaime. Why is this happening?
I think it's more because it's just they're treating it as a house show rather than a pay-per-view event or anything else. It's a house show, and anything can happen in a house show. Sometimes talents referee in a house show. That's just how bizarre house shows can be.
But this is not a house show. It's going to air on the network. I mean, they're treating it like a pay-per-view, except they only let us know it was going to happen 2 weeks before it actually happened. Is this to make up for just how bad Mania ended, Dan?
Or maybe they're just trying to get some of those Asian audience.
You're not Dan. But I see your point. Daniel.
No, I don't think it was. I have a feeling this was actually planned sooner. I don't think they planned to air it on the network originally.
So it was just one of those things, that way they could show the title change between Brock and Roman?
Maybe.
Okay, fair enough. So you're obviously, you said you were going to watch it because you're going to be a terrible boss who's going to sit in his office for 4+ hours and watch wrestling, right?
Yeah, well, normally I sit in the office for 4+ hours and play video games. But it'll be wrestling this day.
And how much would Comcast like to know that the guy that's running one of their stores does that?
It's not Comcast. It's AT&T.
You're wearing an Xfinity t-shirt. That's literally the competition.
I used to work for Comcast. I don't work for them anymore.
That's literally the competition, Dan.
That's fine. No one sees this video.
Yeah, but they hear the podcast.
Sometimes I don't.
Well,
sometimes I don't wear pants when we film.
I'm not wearing pants right now. But
no, like sometimes I sit here butt naked.
I got a t-shirt on. That's about it, buddy. I'm Tom Petty in it over here. Anyway, that's probably too much information for you guys. But if one of our 6 subscribers is one of your bosses, Dan, you're kind of screwed there, bud.
No, my boss knows.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Daniel, you're our indie guy. You had 2 things you wanted to talk about. This is your chance.
3. It's 3 now. You gave me more time to think about it. I feel Keith Lee to the WWE is a lock. He lost the WWN Championship. He got a lot of thank you Keith chants after each of his matches. Seems like it's a done deal, but I can't find anything official on that yet.
Okay.
Do you remember PCO from back in the day?
Elaborate.
Pierre I can't remember the last 2. Oh, man. Can't remember the last 2 names. Anyway, look him up after the show. This 50-year-old man is flying, doing sitting moonsaults. And let me keep in mind, PCO is Kane size. And he looked phenomenal. I think you would enjoy to watch that match if you can find it, PCO versus Walter.
PCO. Is he a former WWE guy?
WCW.
He's a former WCW guy.
Yep, and Just type in PCO wrestler and he'll pop up. I don't remember. I can't remember if that was the name he went by back then. And the last thing I want to tell you, because you're going to enjoy this, Ed, the Joey Janela Spring Break. There is a match called the Cluster. It's basically a battle royal. You could be eliminated in this battle royal by submission, pinfall, being thrown over the top rope, being ejected from the building, or death. There was one person eliminated by death. There was one person who did a pile driver.
Eliminated by death?
Yep, they said he was dead, and they were eliminated. They weren't really dead. But there was another person who went against Louisiana State Athletic Commission rules and did a pile driver, so they were ejected from the building. So the person they did the pile driver on was the eventual winner, who I would have liked to inform you was the Invisible Man. So the guy got ejected for doing a pile driver on the Invisible Man, and the Invisible Man went on to win the Battle Royal, because I can't say its actual name.
So what's worse, the Invisible Man or Elmo wrestling?
Elmo. Elmo is so much better than the Invisible Man. I would rather watch Ric Flair wrestle a god.
I'm so happy we get to end the show on that note.
Oh, no, we're not done. Just because we now have a research department because I can silence my phone. PCO, you said he is Pierre Carl Allouet, or Alouette, I guess is his name. He's 50 years old from Saint Catherine, Quebec in Canada. He was also the Quebecer. He feuded with Bret Hart in 1995. Former WCW Hardcore Champion, being awarded the belt by Lance Storm. Former Tag Team Champion, one half of the Quebecers was Jacques Rougeau. Three-time former WWF Tag Team Champion. He was also in TNA.
So how is he related to Maurice Ouellet?
Doesn't say. It's a popular name in French Canada. There's no Canada like a French Canada. He was also the Mountie, apparently.
But you should try to find that. I think you would thoroughly enjoy watching that big man, especially when you realize that he's 50 years old.
He defeated the Steiners for the tag titles under Province of Quebec rules, which means titles changed hands on disqualifications. Guy's actually had a pretty stout career. His WWF career came to an end after a alleged legit conflict with the Clique. According to Shane Douglas, who was working with the company at the time, and who is a very valuable resource for information, a match pitting somebody against Nash, then the WWF champion, at a house show in Montreal was booked to end without a clean finish, enabling the WWF to return to Montreal for a rematch at a later time. However, due to backstage politicking by Shawn Michaels, the booking was reversed to a clean pinfall for Diesel. In turn, Lafitte refused to be pinned by Diesel, so the match ended in a double countout. Due to the refusal to put Diesel over, he was buried due to the Clique's influence and released soon after. So basically, he wouldn't job out to
Kevin Nash.
To somebody in... Well, hear me out. He wouldn't job out to somebody in Montreal in the Clique. Where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that before?
I don't know.
It sounds awful familiar to...
There's a few wrestlers who claim to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But one of them's a female, so it couldn't be her. I don't know, maybe it's another guy.
She is just a member of the family. Can we talk about Natty for a minute, please?
Fine. I
Fine.
really don't want to.
We won't. There's a few more things we need to get to. One of them is, right before we started recording, I was flipping through the channels, and I came to Impact, a show that I used to love. A company that I used to love and still have a lot of affection for to this day. And on my screen was something that got me very excited.
Josh Matthews.
In a second. OVE and Sami Callihan were on the outside holding their collective body parts, while Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, and Moose were in the ring. Along with, anybody want to take a guess? He's an ECW legend.
Tommy Dreamer?
Why do you gotta wreck things, Dan? Why do you gotta wreck things? You knew the answer. You could have just played along, but instead, you wrecked it. You wrecked it.
Was it Taz?
Don't patronize me. Dumbass. Yes, it was Tommy Dreamer. A guy who I have loved since the days of the Rainbow Suspenders. Tommy Dreamer. He's back. He's in TNA. And Impact, whatever you want to call it. And he put out a tweet that said, I heard from @Real Kurt Angle that TNA was hiring. I did it for the money, blah, 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 doing his normal stuff, whatever. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. It was amazing. And then I watched through the commercial. After the commercial, Evan Bourne, and his spiritual advisor, Josh Matthews, came to the ring. I loved Josh when he was feuding with Jeremy Borash. I thought he was an interesting character. Since then, he has taken a turn to be my most hated character, almost Hornswoggleian in that turn. Evan Bourne was a guy that I thought was Matt Sydal, if you want to get proper. He's from my hometown. Apparently, he's a really down-to-earth, nice guy, as long as, he's smoking weed. I hate him now, too. And it's gotten to the point where they are the mass. They are the mass that is growing the cancer that is causing me to hate TNA.
I'm glad we're getting there.
I will never fully hate Impact, but I hate everything Impact stands for. And it makes me sad. That's my monologue. One more thing we want to get to, and this is Jaime's baby. WWE couples that aren't together that should be. Jaime, you have one off the bag. Go ahead and say it. We know Corey's been hitting at it. Who's the one WWE couple that needs to happen?
The anticipation's killing me, Jaime.
Jaime. He's so excited about this, he can't talk. So, Dan, I'm going to pose the question to you. We know what Jaime's going to say. So, what's the one couple that needs to happen?
Charlotte and Rude.
Why did you... You took it from him. That was his thing.
You told me to say it.
I said one other one.
No.
This is you undermining me. This is how we started the first season, our first season. With you being completely unable to work with us. This is how we started, Daniel.
Okay, fine. It should be me.
You're not in the WWE.
No, I can't.
There you go again. Undermining me. Screwing me over. This show is terrible. It's our first show on Babel. It's our first show on Podbean. And people got to listen to you undermining the show. So you know what, Dan? I'm going to ask Jaime. And I'm going to let Jaime talk about it. Jaime, who is the one WWE couple that should happen?
One WWE couple that should happen. Well, they teased it. I don't know what's happening backstage, but it's gonna be the Road Warriors, Bobby Roode and Charlotte.
Wow, I didn't see that coming at all.
Oh my God. I am so gonna drive to Baltimore and kill you, Dan. Just murder you. I had this all planned out, guys. I had it all planned out. I had Jaime set up. It was just on a tee. It was right there, and all he had to do was just swing. And then the Filipino internet just conked out on him. And then Dan comes along and wrecks the entire segment. So for those of you listening to us on Babel for the very first time, I apologize, but this normally happens. All right. I'm going to calm down now. Dan, what are your final words before we plug ourselves and go home and go to sleep?
Well, you mind if I just plug myself now?
Yes, I do. I want to hear your final words on the weekend since you were actually down in New Orleans. How about the stuff you were offered? How is Bourbon Street as advertised?
Absolutely.
Elaborate.
Within the first 15 minutes of me being on Bourbon Street, the first day there, keep in mind this was a Wednesday, was my first day there. I was approached by a prostitute within the first 15 minutes. Over the course of the rest of the week, I was approached
Did you
by
fall
two
in
more.
love with her?
What?
We know that you sometimes fall in love with women that give you that you have to give money for them to like you.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. 100% no. I was a very loyal boyfriend this past weekend.
Because she was with you, or
No. I was there with one of my buddies. So no, it was just me and just me there. I was approached. I was offered some pink Peruvian about 7 or 8 times, and every time I walked past the corner, there was a conjitute. If you catch my drift.
How many beads did you collect?
Yeah, you had some very nice man
didn't have
boobies. Did you?
beads, and I did not give any beads out.
So you played with them yourself.
Wasted opportunity. Wait, did Jaime just make an anal beads joke?
He did, and it's a little concerning because he said that with a smile on his face, like he knows how that feels.
Oh my god. Well, that's Jaime's burn of the week, ladies and gentlemen. It's back and better than ever. Jaime's got his burn of the week going. So it was that good then. How would you rate New Orleans, Dan?
Scale of 1 to 10, about an 8.
And what city would be a 10? And you can't say Baltimore.
A city I haven't been to yet. My hopes are extremely high for San Francisco and LA.
Okay. We gonna make plans to go to New York and meet up at Mania again? Like we were supposed to meet up in New Orleans this year?
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I'm still waiting for you to show up.
I'm still waiting to go, to... Where was it last year? Houston?
Orlando?
Dallas? Orlando? Yeah, I'm still waiting to go to Orlando. Honestly, I'm still waiting to leave the state of Ohio and the states of Ohio and West Virginia. Doesn't seem like that's ever gonna happen. Anyway, Jaime, tell us about your MMA career. Where's that sitting at?
Well, right now I'm a busy man, and here's the thing. Here's the truth about my sporting career, my MMA career. All of this I'm doing back in high school when I used to play football. College, I used to play track.
Wait, what
Now
kind
I'm
of football?
training MMA.
What kind of football?
Football, the one where you kick the ball, the one with the round ball, the one you guys call soccer.
So, okay, all right, got it.
So I played all of it. Because here in the Philippines, there weren't any wrestling promotions back then. That's how my fandom for professional wrestling is. I tried to sport myself into professional wrestling.
Okay, so where's the MMA career?
That's where it's going. If ever I'm going to compete, I'm just going to use those credentials to enter a wrestling school someday. Here in the Philippines, it's not present. I'm currently still saving for it. I don't know what good wrestling are there outside of this country that's not that cost-worthy and wouldn't need me to apply for visa that takes so long. So
I was gonna say Dan will let you live.
pretty much, you might see me first in a wrestling ring and octagon.
Okay.
You never know.
I was gonna say Dan will let you live in his mom's house. Right, Dan? I don't think Dan's listening. All right. Well, since Dan's not listening, why don't we take this opportunity?
Hey, what do you got going on?
Well, what do I got going on? You guys really want to hear about me?
Not really. So you guys can find me on Twitter at RealDDirect. I will be posting some stuff shortly. I have a few articles that I have coming up. One about how my Mania weekend was and a recap of that, and the other one is just all you need to know about the iconic duo.
How am I not shocked? I expected you to write that because you've been stalking them for the better part of the last year. So,
Hey Dan, where's my Ember Moon pick?
Dude, I wasn't sitting close enough for NXT, and I actually didn't even watch that match.
okay. How about this, Dan? Where's my T-shirt?
Dude, you want to know how much shirts were there?
I don't care. You have a promise you've broken 2 years in a row.
I didn't promise one this year, but
Yeah,
I got
you
you.
absolutely did. Because
I got one for you.
I have never been more pissed off at you during a show than what I am right now.
I have one for you.
In the 45 shows that we have done, and this is show number 46, I have never been more agitated with you than what I am on this
dude,
night.
I got one for you.
But it didn't come from WrestleMania.
It did.
I'll believe it.
It even says I was there.
I'll believe it when I see it. And I swear to God, if this is a Hanes shirt, an undershirt you bought in New Orleans and are going to put that on masking tape and attach it there, I'm going to be deeply upset.
Or an indie shirt if a guy you don't know.
Where can everyone find you at? I got to get this show back on track.
Okay, well, first I'm going to tell you what's going on in my life since you decided to hijack that. As I stated,
I gotta admit, that was good.
it was decent. As I stated earlier in the show, the book we Were Spoiled is nearing completion. It's about 85% done, and then all that's left is the formatting. That will not be released as an ebook. That's only going to be released as a physical book. I am working with a basically a pay-per-print site that you'll be able to get a link, and you'll print them off as many as you want, and you'll be able to get that book. It's only going to be physical copies, and maybe for one of you lucky listeners, I'll even give you a signed copy from yours truly. Also, as we all talked about at the beginning of the show, me and Jaime now are doing double duty as we are both working for RealSport101.com and for Babel USA. Dan, you going to be joining us?
I am. After this crazy weekend of work, I will be setting all that up.
So all three of us will be working over there. Jaime is our new boss. So thank you, Jaime. Another thing you can...
Hey, Jaime, let me be the first to tell you. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, you already missed that boat, buddy. I actually told Jaime's boss to go do that, and that's why we are now on Babel. So it's a long story. It's not a story I really want to tell. But one thing you can stay tuned for is Sunday night, I will be recording a special show with another guy who was at WrestleMania. He had media credentials to the Ring of Honor show. He was backstage at NXT. He was backstage at Mania. It's going to be, oddly enough, my nephew, who does the exact same job I do back home. We're going to be talking to him about that. But as far as I go, you can find me at Ed. It's at Ed at the Journal. I had to change my Twitter handle because now we have to be professional. You can also find my works at Babel USA, at RealSport101.com. On Amazon, you can find The Hero Lost, which is an ebook for only 99 cents. And you can find me in Crossroads Magazine and the Journal and Noble County Leader. That's journal-leader.com. You can find me in the sports section. Jaime, plug yourself.
Well, now that I'm an editor for Babel, we're looking for writers for the wrestling section. So feel free to reach me through Facebook. That's Jaime Luis Aldecoa. And through my Twitter handle, which is @thegreatJLA. So feel free to drop in your application because most likely, even if you do not have experience, most likely I'm taking you in because we're looking for writers and we're looking for people to train. Because we would want to push for those media credentials and all those backstage passes, you name it. And we're going to push for video production, just like how the big sites do it. So send in your applications.
Yeah, basically, we'll take any experience we can from writers, sound editors, video editors, graphic artists, anybody that knows anything about wrestling, from Hulk Hogan to Johnny Gargano, from Mauro Ranallo all the way to the great Jim Ross. We'll take anybody we can get our hands on. You can find us at Babel USA. Just put that into the Google toolbar. You'll be able to find it in there, and we'll go from there. So, Daniel, you still there, buddy?
I am. I'm done sitting.
Fair enough. Boyfriend gave you a rough night last night, huh?
No, if you wouldn't know, I gotta pee really bad. So
well, Well, that's fine, as do the rest of us. So we're going to end this show the way we've ended every show. We'd like to thank you all for listening. Those of you that are either found us on Podbean or on RealSport101.com or on Babel USA. And as always, if you're not down with the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, I got 2 words for you. Keep listening.